Algebra 1, Section 3.6, Equations and Problem Solving. Just two examples and a little bit of an explanation between the two. His first example says the width of a rectangle is 3 less than its length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 26. What is the width of the rectangle? So a lot of times the first thought that students have when they see a problem like this is, okay, width and length, W and L. But you don't want to do that because you don't want to introduce two variables right away, something that you can't solve. They gave us the information for the length in terms of the width. The width of the rectangle is 3 less than its length. So the length would be W plus 3. Just as well, you could have done length and let the width be length minus 3. Okay, but use one variable. I'm going to go with the W. I like the addition one better. And you know that if this is W, then on a rectangle, this is W. If this is W plus 3, then so is this bottom one. And then we can add them up. W plus 3 plus W plus 3 equals 26. Now, I don't care at all if you go ahead and combine those like terms as your first step and you get 4W plus 6. As long as you get it accurate, I'm totally fine with that. As I've probably said in a previous video, never sacrifice accuracy just to save a little bit of paper. But if you can do that accurately, you can start with this equation right here. Then you would subtract 6 from both sides and divide by 4. So the width is 5. The length then, and I'm not against using L as the variable now, the length would be 8. Okay, so we got a width of 5 inches. The length is 8 inches. What would happen if you had used this model? As you'd find the length is 8 first, and then 8 minus 3 is 5. Either way, you're going to come up with an 8 by 5 rectangle. Okay, now, the term consecutive integers. Consecutive integers, here, I'll give you a couple of examples. 3, 4, 5 would be 3 consecutive integers. 11, 12, 13, 14 would be 4 consecutive integers. 2 and 3 would be 2 consecutive integers. They have to be next to each other. Just the same, negative numbers just as well. So -3, -4, -5 would be consecutive integers. Actually, I probably would list them the other way though, -5, -4, -3, so that they're going from low to high. But anyway, they're consecutive because they're next to each other as far as what integers are. Remember, the integers are the whole numbers and their negatives. So what would consecutive even integers be? Well, that would be something like 2, 4, 6, or 78, 80, 82, and 84 if it were 4 of them, or 10 and 12. You get what I'm saying? So here comes the question. What if the first integer is x? And we're back to just consecutive integers. The first integer is x. Wouldn't the second integer be x plus 1? The third integer be x plus 2? I hope you agree with that. Fourth integer would be x plus 3. See, because if x turned out to be 11, then the next one should be 1 more than 11. The next one should be 2 more than 11. 13 would be 2 more than 11. So then we'll ask the same question here. What if this is, we'll use a different letter, n? Wouldn't the next even integer be n plus 2? And the next one be n plus 4, and the next one be n plus 6. Okay? Now, everybody agrees with that. Nobody has any quarrel with that. In 15 years of teaching Algebra 1, I've never had anybody have a disagreement with me on that. Okay? Now, here's where it gets a little bit, I don't know, not a lot confusing, but it can confuse you if you don't follow what I'm about to say. Consecutive odd integers would be like 3, 5, 7, or 19, 21, 23. And if I then go ahead and bring up the thought of, well, what if the first one is, and I'll just use a different letter once again, let's just use y. Someone would say, okay, so the next one's going to be y plus 1, and the next one's going to be y plus 3. Now stop and think about that. We want the next one, this is a comma here, we want the next one. If the first one is y, is 3, isn't 5 2 more than 3? Wouldn't it be y plus 2 and y plus 4? That's what it should be. So it really is the exact same model as the even integers, okay? Now, one more thing before we do the final example, and that is you really need to understand what an integer is, what consecutive integers are, what consecutive even and consecutive odd integers are when you get the answer. When you get the answer and it's looking for consecutive even integers, and you have odd integers or something, a set of numbers that aren't even integers, you've obviously done something wrong. Okay, now it sounds like I'm probably scolding you for things that people in the past have done, and that's probably true. Uh, if you're expecting even integers and you come up with 22.5 and 24.5, that's not correct because those aren't integers. So please check yourself in that way after you've come up with an answer. That's called having number sense. Okay, so here's an example. The sum of three consecutive integers is 72. Find the integers. So this isn't even, this isn't odd, these are consecutive. So if I call one x, I can call the next one x plus 1, the next one x plus 2. Okay, and if I add them up then, they tell me that the sum of them is 72. That's 3x. 1, 2, 3. Combined like terms, you have 3x. 1 plus 2 is 3. And now we're just solving. 3x, subtract 3 from both sides, you'll have 69. Divide by 3, and you'll have 23. Now they asked for all three numbers, so we just figured out that the first one is 23. The second one would be one more than that, 24. The third one would be one more than that, 25. Now, I'm almost done, but let me just address this. Somebody is thinking, why didn't we just divide 72 by 3 and then subtract one from it and add one from it? Well, look, what you're doing if you do that is you're just following a model where this is x minus 1, and this is x plus 1, and you're finding the middle number. You would find it to be 24. You would be correct. There would be a third way to do it, where you could let x be the highest number, let x minus 1 be the next one down, and x minus 2 be the next one down. There'd be several ways to do this right. Point being, though, is that I would like to see you do something that's algebraic, like I showed here, right? Something that has a few lines of work, and not just do it all in your head. Okay, and that especially goes for consecutive even and consecutive odd problems that you're about to encounter in your homework. Okay, thanks for tuning in.